discussion about SI and CI engines. Okay, so now this may be little bit revision what I have taught you in engineering thermodynamics, but it is better to revise before we move further. Yes, the screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
So before I move further, I think you are aware about the evaluation pattern. So here we'll have examination.
अरे नहीं मैथ्स की नहीं है किसी ने ज्वाइन
Yeah, please mute yourself. So first is mid-term exam. So that is for 25 marks. Second one is end term exam. That is for 35 marks. Then there will be assignment, quizzes, okay, and viva. That is for 40 marks. So from this will be from 20 marks and this will be for 20 marks. So this is a total 100. And then if you want to score grade A, then you should score greater than 80 marks. Okay, this may vary, but at least it should be means always it will be above 80. So actual cutoff you will come to know at the end of examination. So you should prepare well. This is a good subject. This is a very interesting subject. Easy also, little bit easier also. So you can score very good grade in this subject, so that you can make up your HGPA, CGPA. Okay. Now coming to our discussion. So we are discussing about SI and CI engines. Okay, SI engines and CI engines and CI engine. Okay, and this is classified on the basis of method of ignition. Method of ignition. So how we are igniting the fuel or air fuel mixture? How we are igniting the air fuel mixture? On that basis, we are categorizing it as a spark ignition, and compression ignition. Compression ignition. So here we are using some external agency, spark plug. Here the ignition is taking place. There is auto ignition or spontaneous ignition, and for that you have to use higher compression ratio. So what is compression ratio? Compression ratio. Generally it is denoted by R. So anyone, what is compression ratio? Yes, Dhananjay Shankar. What is compression ratio? Tanvi Khurana.
Yes,
Roll
sir.
number. What is compression ratio? Are you aware or no?
Sorry, sir.
Roll number 68, Rahul.
Sir, total volume by clearance volume.
Correct. Total volume by clearance by. So VT by VC. Okay, so this is a compression ratio R. This is compression ratio R. So in case of SI engine, the compression ratio, it is in the range of 6 to 10 is to 1. While here it is in the range of 12 to 22 is to 1. So that means what, we are employing higher compression ratio in case of CI engine. As we are employing higher compression ratio, the pressure and temperature at the end of compression is higher. Pressure and temperature at the end of compression is higher. Okay. Now again, before moving further, so we have seen all four strokes. Okay, so all four strokes we have seen. So during suction stroke, which valve is open? Yes, anyone? Which valve is open during suction stroke? Inlet valve, correct. Inlet valve is open. During compression stroke, which valve is open? During compression stroke, which valve is open?
Both are closed.
Both are closed, so no valve is open. Okay, during power and expansion stroke, again, no valve is open, both valves are closed. During exhaust stroke, exhaust valve is open. Okay, so when we close this valve, so during compression stroke and power stroke, both valves are closed. During suction and exhaust stroke, during suction stroke, intake valve is closed, open, and exhaust valve is open during exhaust stroke. So there is actual valve timing mechanism. What we want the valve should be fully open when the stroke starts. When the suction stroke starts, what we want the inlet valve should be fully open. And we are using some valve actuation mechanism that has a rocker or then push rod, camshaft. So we have to start opening it little early so that it will be fully open when that stroke begins. Okay. So for this I will come to this valve actuation mechanism or diagram little later. Okay. Now, coming to this compression ratio, okay. Then here we are employing lower compression ratio. Here we are employing higher compression ratio. So by employment of higher compression ratio, you will ensure that the temperature and should be higher than the self-ignition temperature of fuel at the end of compression stroke, so that there should be spontaneous ignition. So that's why we call it as a compression ignition. And here spark ignition engine, we are going for spark. So when the spark is ignited, the local temperature becomes greater than self-ignition temperature of fuel. That is spark ignition. So here I have given you the values. For petrol, the self-ignition temperature SIT is approximately 350 to 400 degrees centigrade, while in case of diesel it is in between 250 to 300 degrees centigrade. So first requirement is that we have to achieve the self-ignition temperature. Whenever we want to burn fuel, first requirement is that we have to achieve self-ignition temperature of that fuel. Then here what we are using Otto cycle, and here we are using diesel cycle. Okay, here we are using diesel cycle. Now you are aware of Otto cycle and diesel cycle that I have covered in thermodynamics. Okay, so quickly revise this now. Let us quickly revise this. So this is PV diagram. So now let us represent all strokes first. So this is suction stroke. Okay, 0 to 1 is suction stroke. So during which the piston moves from top center to bottom center. So this is top center, this is bottom center, this is that clearance volume, this is clearance volume, this is swept volume, and this is total volume. Okay, so total volume is Vs plus Vc. So if you want to represent here, so this is that Vc, this is Vs, and Vs plus Vc is Vt. So 0 to 1 is suction stroke. The intake valve is open. When the piston moves from top center to bottom center, pressure falls below atmospheric and air or air-fuel mixture will enter into the cylinder. Now in this case, air-fuel mixture will enter because it is Otto cycle or petrol engine. Then 1 to 2 is compression stroke. One to 2 is compression stroke. So it is isentropic compression. Then 2 to 3 is constant volume heat addition. Constant volume heat addition. Then 3 to 4 is isentropic expansion, and 4 to 1 is constant volume heat rejection. So this is isentropic expansion and isentropic compression. This is constant volume heat addition. This is also constant volume heat rejection. And during this process, heat is added here, it is supplied here, it is rejected from here. It is rejected. So heat is supplied during constant volume process 2 to 3, and heat is rejected during constant volume process 4 to 1. And then 1 to 0 is exhaust stroke. 1 to 0 is exhaust stroke. So what is that? 0 to 1 is suction stroke. 1 to 2 is compression. 2 to 3 heat addition at constant volume. 3 to 4 expansion, and 4 to 1 heat rejection at again constant volume, and 1 to 0 is exhaust stroke. Okay, this clear? Now out of this 0 to 1 and 1 to 0 is a unproductive stroke, so we can eliminate this. we can eliminate this and we can represent Otto cycle by 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and same thing can be drawn on TS diagram. So on TS diagram, how will you draw it? On TS diagram. So now eliminate 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. Let us start from 1 to 2. So 1 to 2 is isentropic process. So it is a straight line. 1 to 2 is isentropic compression. Then 2 to 3, it is constant volume line. So it is a curve on TS diagram. Then 3 to 4, again isentropic process, isentropic expansion, and 4 to 1 is constant volume heat rejection. Okay. Now heat is supplied here and heat is rejected. Okay. So now the efficiency is output divided by input. So what is output? Output is QS minus QR. Okay. Or you can say W. Output is W. And what is input? Input is heat supplied. And what is W? W is QS minus QR upon QS. So it is equal to 1 minus QR upon QS. So you should remember this equation always. So this is example of heat engine. So I think you are aware of this. We have studied this thing in thermodynamics. That is a heat engine. It is taking heat from the source and rejecting heat to the sink. So it is taking heat QS amount of heat, rejecting QR amount of heat, and giving you W. So therefore the efficiency is W divided by QS, which is QS minus QR upon QS, which is equal to 1 minus QR by QS. So this we have done earlier also. It is the same thing. So this is that equation which you have to remember. So this is the efficiency of Otto cycle. Is the efficiency of Otto cycle. Then we have also seen that why we are getting almost heat addition at almost constant volume. Yes, anyone remember it? Yes. Maybe someone may be remembering because that we have discussed even in thermodynamics. Yes, Manas Pathak.
Yes, sir.
Ah. So why do we approximate that in case of Otto cycle the heat addition is at constant volume? Any idea?
No, sir, I don't remember.
Okay, Bharti, roll number 75. Do you remember?
No, sir.
No? Anyone? Sushmita, roll number 105. At least you should say yes or no. If you don't know, no problem. Okay, I am going to explain here. Just I want to know whether you remember or not. That's all. Roll number 122, Prathamesh Ringe. 122, Prathamesh. Instead of writing in chat box, no sir, yes sir. If your mic is working, then you can answer in that way. Okay, somebody has put the answer here in the chat box. That piston doesn't move significantly during combustion stroke. Yeah, correct. This piston doesn't move significantly during combustion stroke. Or it is not exactly at the combustion stroke during the process 2 to 3. Okay, but then what else is responsible? This is one factor. Yes, Vinith, you are correct. But there is one more factor. What is that? Spark advance almost constant volume pressure increases. Spark advance. No, no, not spark advance. Change in phase. No, no. Okay. Okay, I will explain. Now here, in case of petrol engine, now we are approximating this Otto cycle for we are approximating this Otto cycle for actual SI engine. We are approximating this Otto cycle for actual SI engine. That means in case of actual SI engine, the process is very similar like this, very close to this. Okay, very close to this. So what is happening here? In case of SI engine, the mixture problem is there. The mixture is homogeneous, air fill mixture. What we do, we in carburetor, we'll mix air and petrol. Okay, air is sucked from the atmosphere. This petrol is supplied from the fuel tank in the carburetor, and in the carburetor, air fuel mixture is prepared. Air fuel mixture is prepared in required quality and quantity. While what we'll see this, what is quality and quantity afterward, and then it is supplied to the engine. So the mixture is air fuel mixture is homogeneous. So here we mix air plus fuel, air plus fuel. Now here fuel is petrol in the carburetor, and we supply homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture. Now homogeneous mixture means what? The air fuel ratio is constant. Air fuel ratio is constant. So that mixture is supplied into the cylinder. That mixture is supplied into the cylinder, and this mixture is ready to burn. Ready to burn. That means the mixture is combustible. Okay. So if the mixture wants to be in combustible range, then in that case, the air fuel ratio should follow in certain range. We'll see this afterward. So just now understand it is a combustible mixture. The whole mixture which is ready to burn or which is combustible is supplied into the cylinder. And somewhere here, actual engine, somewhere here, spark is ignited. Spark ignition is taking place. When the piston is going up, if you see during the compression stroke itself, the spark is ignited. So as soon as the spark is ignited, ignition takes place, which is followed by combustion. So the flame is produced near the spark plug, and that will propagate throughout the combustion chamber, burning the charge. And during this, what is happening? The piston is moving up. Piston is moving toward TC, and then once it reaches TC, it starts moving towards BC. So the change in volume is almost negligible. Change in volume is almost negligible. It is decreasing volume and then slightly increasing. So you will get the actual combustion process somewhat like this. Exactly like this. So which is very close to constant volume heat addition. Constant volume heat addition. And therefore, you can say that in case of SI engine, you are getting, you are approximating this Otto cycle for actual SI engine. Now here, come here. Now here, what is happening here? Here again, the heat is rejected at constant volume. Yes. Now, anyone have any idea about this? Why it is rejected at constant volume? If you want to say, you can say, or you can write in chat box if you want. Yes. Atharva, roll number 11. Any idea?
No, sir.
Jaswant, 17.
No, sir.
But this we are consider this I have taught you in thermodynamics. Devesh, 32. Then roll number 43.
Yes, sir.
43. Are you 43?
Yes, sir.
Any guess why we are approximating constant volume heat rejection process in case of Otto cycle, that is 4 to 1?
No idea, sir.
Roll number 66, Moria.
Yes, sir.
Any idea?
No, sir.
Oh, now pay attention. Please pay attention. All of you, please pay attention. If you are, somebody has written chat box. The volume is slightly increasing till BC. Why it is increasing till it will why slightly? It is increasing when it moves, piston moves from TC to BC, volume is increasing. Then decreasing
Sir, when it is at 4,
when it is at 4.
yes, sir, when the expansion has happened, after that it will slightly increase.
Why
And
it will
then,
increase? See, that is a dead center.
yes, sir.
It is the
No, sir,
bottom dead center.
before that, when it is it is going towards BC, then it will increase, and then after that expansion, exhaust will happen, so it will slightly decrease at that point.
So basically, it is because of what? Because of what that constant volume heat rejection we are considering. See here, what happened at 4? At 4, exhaust valve opens, isn't it? Exhaust valve opens at 4. So as soon as exhaust valve opens, there is a sudden escape of the burn gases from the cylinder to the atmosphere. And that's why you will see that is sudden drop in pressure. and and at the same time there is a heat rejection process almost at constant volume. Okay, it is because of opening of the exhaust valve. When the expansion stroke ends, the pressure is approximately 7 bar. And when the exhaust valve opens and when the exhaust gases comes out from the cylinder to the atmosphere, the pressure drops from 7 bar to 3 bar or 3.5 bar. So there is a sudden escape of the gases from the cylinder to the atmosphere. Thus, rejection of the heat at almost at constant volume. Okay, so actual it is somewhat like this. Little like, but very close to this constant volume. Okay, is it clear? So why we are approximating constant volume heat addition during 2 to 3 and constant volume heat rejection during 4 to 1. So that I have explained. If you have any doubt, you can ask. If you are not understood, I will repeat it. Okay. Now I consider that everybody has understood this. Next is diesel cycle. Now this we use in CI engine. We are approximating this diesel cycle for actual engines. So in diesel cycle, now I think we have studied diesel cycle, Otto cycle, dual cycle in thermodynamics. Okay. So again, a little bit revision. So PV diagram and now diesel cycle. So 1 to 2 and 3 to 4 isentropic compression and expansion. And now this is constant pressure process and this is constant volume process. And if you draw TS diagram, so 1 to 2, and now this one 2 to 3 is constant pressure process. So which line is steeper, constant pressure or constant volume on TS diagram? Yes, anyone? Which one is steeper? No idea. We are now third year students. One to two and 3 to 4. What is this? 2 to 3.
In TS diagram, sir.
In TS diagram, yes.
One, sir, 1 to 2 and 4 is gamma PV to power gamma is equal to constant.
1 to 2 and 3 to 4 is isentropic process. 1
Yes,
to 2
sir.
and 3 to 4 is isentropic process where gamma is equal to 1.4. And 2 to 3 is constant pressure and 4 to 1 is constant volume.
The constant
Now-
volume line is more steeper.
Constant volume line is more steeper. Correct. Constant volume line is more steeper than constant pressure one. So when you draw this diagram, so draw it correctly. Slope should not be same. Okay. Constant volume line is more steeper than constant pressure line. Okay. Now, this we have studied. Again, here because of opening up the exhaust valve, there is a sudden fall in the pressure, and constant volume heat rejection is taking place here. Okay, QR. Heat is supplied during this process. QS. Sorry, it is supplied during this process 2 to 3, which is constant pressure process. Now, why we are approximating constant pressure heat addition in case of diesel engine? In case of petrol engine, we assume constant volume heat addition. Now, in this case, we are approximating constant pressure heat addition in diesel engine. Yes? Anyone having any idea, they can write in chat box or can say. Yeah, somebody written. Diesel is injected by injector at constant pressure and only air enters. Only air enters during suction stroke. That is correct. And then diesel is injected. So non-homogeneous. We call it as a heterogeneous. Okay, non-homogeneous is heterogeneous. Heterogeneous mixture causes longer combustion and piston moves slightly while pressure doesn't change. Heat addition at constant pressure is more. Now, I'm not asking whether it is more or less. Why we are approximating constant pressure heat addition? That is the question.
We are
Okay.
injecting air, so how the volume would be remain constant? That's why I guess.
Here, yes, please repeat.
We are injecting fuel in the compressed air, so the question of constant volume vanishes.
So that vanishes, so this will come into existence. You mean to say like that?
Yes, sir. Since constant volume can't be maintained, we are adding volume.
That is not
That's
there.
why
So
constant pressure.
A is not there, so hence B is there. It's not like that. Why B is there? Explain like that. Explain that way. Why? Okay. I think some problem is there in note. Are you able to see this diagram? Okay. I will continue explanation. So in case of somebody has put answer in chat box. As fuel is sprinkled, the space themselves between the air particles and pressure is constant. Okay. Anyone? Okay. Now let me explain. So in case of a diesel engine, the mixture is heterogeneous. That means the air fuel ratio is not constant. Here in this case, air is sucked during suction stroke. Then theoretically at the end of compression stroke, fuel is injected. Okay. So that fuel first disintegrates from liquid, disintegrates first. Liquid fuel is disintegrated into tiny particles. These tiny particles of fuel will take latent heat of evaporation from the surrounding compressed air and it gets vaporized. Then this fuel vapor is mixed with surrounding air and forms a mixture. And we are not providing sufficient time for mixing, so the mixture is heterogeneous. The mixture is heterogeneous. That means air-fuel ratio is different at different location. Okay, and right now you understand this much because detail I will take afterward when we study the combustion. So during this, what happens? The fuel injection is continuous for certain duration. Okay. Now let us say there are 20 batches. I am disintegrating now that continuous injection into batches. So first batch has entered, it forms a mixture and it starts burning. Then next batch is coming, that will burn. Then third batch is coming, that will burn. And during this process, the piston is moving. Piston is moving from BC to TC to BC. So volume is also increasing. And we have designed that fuel injection system. So now we'll control the rate of injection in such a way that whatever pressure rise is taking place during this process, that will be compensated by the increase in volume. So you will get the combustion process somewhat like this, which is very close to constant pressure heat addition. So therefore, we are approximating constant pressure heat addition in case of diesel engine, actual diesel engine. Okay. So this way, and then we already you know the equations for efficiency of Otto cycle, efficiency of diesel cycle. Efficiency of Otto cycle is what? Air standard cycle efficiency. This is air standard. 1 minus 1 upon R raised to gamma minus 1. Okay. Then for diesel cycle, this is 1 minus 1 upon R raised to gamma minus 1 into 1 into multiplying factor is there. One multiplying factor. Because of what? Because of that, the efficiency of the diesel engine for same compression ratio is less than the efficiency of Otto cycle. So this we have studied. So I will ask you to take out your notes of engineering thermodynamics. So because this I have considered in detail, we have derived the equation for efficiency of Otto cycle, diesel cycle as well as fuel cycle. So again in dual cycle you will have this common factor multiplied by some another factor. So in case of dual cycle, what is the case of dual cycle? Here, in case of dual cycle, heat is added at constant volume plus constant pressure. So 1 to 2 and 4 to 5, these are isentropic process. In 2 to 3, that is volume is constant, 3 to 4, pressure is constant, and here volume is constant. So heat is added here to S1, heat is also added here to S2, and heat is rejected here to R. So efficiency will be W upon QS, which is QS plus QS1, QS1 plus QS2. Okay, so this is a dual cycle. This is a dual cycle. So we have worked out various numericals also on this. Okay. Now, if you want to determine mean effective pressure, this is W upon Vs. Okay. So now I request you to go through some numericals. Okay. If you don't remember what we have studied, I will just try to show, which I have covered in last year thermodynamics course. So this we have, so it is just a revision whatever we have studied in air standard cycles and this. So these are the assumptions which I have considered. Okay, this is there. I have sent you this earlier also. Same thing we are discussing. Just revision little quickly. Okay, then we have derived the equation for this efficiency of Otto cycle, efficiency of diesel cycle. Okay, efficiency of diesel cycle, efficiency of Otto cycle. This is efficiency of Otto cycle. This we have derived equation earlier also, in thermodynamics. So I need not to take it again. Okay. Then diesel cycle, we have derived the equation for diesel cycle. Okay. This is that equation for diesel cycle, air standard cycle efficiency. Then dual cycle also we have discussed. Okay. And for this also we have derived the equation. Okay. So this thing you should revise from your thermodynamics notebook. Okay. Then we have also solved some numericals on this. I have taken one numerical on diesel cycle. Okay. So similarly, there are number of numericals are given in the book on Otto cycle, diesel cycle, and dual cycle. So I want you to go through those numericals. Okay. And suppose if you want that I should take those numericals again in the class, so I can take it, no issue. So you have to let me know whether you want those numericals to be taken again here in this class. Okay. So what will you do? Yes, are you ready for that? You want to revise your air standard cycles from that thermodynamics notes, or shall I take those numericals again here? Yes, roll number 89 Harshita, roll number 112 Utkarsh. हाँ बताओ क्या करना है? You will revise from that thermodynamics notes all those things.
Yes.
So what you have to do? Yes. हाँ भी बोलो.
Sir, if one, two basic numericals are covered, then it will be better, I think.
Acha. So it is very similar examples. Whatever we have covered in thermodynamics now. Do you have the notes of thermodynamics which I sent last year?
Yes, sir. We will see the rest, sir.
So what I request you all to go through that first. Okay. Go through that notes on air standard cycle, that Otto cycle, diesel cycle, and dual cycle, and go through it. See the numericals. Okay. If you want that, I can cover some numericals on Otto cycle, diesel cycle, and dual cycle also. But you first go through it. first go through it. If you can do it at your means, because that is already covered. That is already covered in the previous year. If you are able to remember, recollect, and do yourself, that is okay. If you are unable to do it, you let me know. I can take few example on that. That is not the issue. Okay, so in next class you let me know. So in now in this weekend you have to go revise all those air standard cycles from previous thermodynamics notes. Is it okay?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Sir, can you please share the thermodynamics notes?
Okay, I will share it. Okay,
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
we'll share that notes, thermodynamics note. From that you need not to refer Brayton cycle and other things. Only air standard cycle, only Otto cycle, diesel cycle, fuel cycle, and derivations of that, derivations for air standard cycle efficiency, and numericals on that. That's all. Okay, because other things are also there which I have covered in thermodynamics, but that is not right now applicable for EC2. Okay, is it okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now, just let us quickly start next thing. Now, next is the carburation. Next is the carburation. Now, carburation is nothing but the preparation of air and fuel mixture in required quantity and quality. Okay. Now, first we are considering this. We are discussing first on SI engine. Okay. So first we'll discuss SI engine. So in SI engines, when we start discussing about SI engine, the first thing is carburation. So here we are using carburetor. Here we are using carburetor. So this carburetor is a device. Carburetor is a device which prepares air and fuel. Now here fuel we are using here is a petrol. So carburetor is a device which prepares air and fuel, that is petrol mixture, in required quality and quantity. Okay, in required quality and quantity. So quality means mass, how much mass? Sorry, quantity means how much mass of air and fuel, and quality means what is the airfare ratio. That is the quality. What is the airfare ratio? And this is the mass of air plus fuel. So that has to be supplied. So carburetor has to cater the requirement of engine. So what are the different conditions of engine? Accordingly, this carburetor has to prepare mixture and supply it to engine. So what are the various engine condition? Engine operating condition. Engine operating condition. So basically there are three engine operating conditions. The first one is idling. First one is idling. Second one is normal or cruising. And third one is high power and acceleration. So these are the three engine operating conditions. engine operates in these three conditions only. There is no other condition. So this carburetor has to supply air fuel mixture in required quality and quantity to this engine, so that the engine will give you required power output and required efficiency. Now it is idling. Idling means no load, no power output, or minimum power output, which is just to overcome the friction. That is idling. Normal means it is operating and producing power within that range, and high means maximum. High means maximum. So this way this carburetor has to work. So if you have any doubt, you can ask, or we'll continue next time. If you have any doubt, you can ask, or you can write in chat box. I will try to answer. So this subject is very interesting. This topic is very interesting. So you should not miss any class. Okay. Because tomorrow's class will depend on the previous class. Okay. So if you have no doubt, then I will end this class.